Welcome to a brand new day. Today is Wednesday right here on the AM show. My name is Benjamin Akakpo. Welcome aboard. Now, what can you expect on the show today as we gear up for, well, the end of the year? First off, the news. Right after that, the news review. Today, we're joined, as always, by political scientist and director of the Center for European Studies at the University of Ghana, Dr. Kwame Ashanti. But it's going to be an extended conversation. We're going to be reflecting on the year in focus, 2023, the big discussions we've had with him as well, and what his take was on a number of those matters. So we're going to take about an hour on the news review today. After that, it's sports with Mubarak Haruna. Yesterday, fireworks between Manchester United and Aston Villa. What a shocker. Anyway, we'll bring you details of that as well. And then we get into our big stories. Now, number one on the chopping board. We're going to be bringing you an interaction with Yusuf Sulemana. He's Member of Parliament for Bole Bamboy. He's been sharing his reflections with us on Parliament in the course of this year as far as its work is concerned and other topical issues of national interest. Of course, he'll also be sharing with us his thoughts for Christmas. Stay for my interaction with him. Also on the chopping board, we have AM Business. It's courtesy of EcoBank, the Pan-African bank. We'll bring you details of that later on the show. That's what the show looks like for today. Stay with us as we also tell you, well, what you missed. Share with you what you missed at the Joy FM family party in the park. It took place yesterday at the Abri Botanical Gardens. And finally, we'll tell you about Heritage Christian University. It's a buzzing school for tertiary education. We'll bring you details as we're joined by officials from that institution. Well, stay with us. Up next, the news. Thank you for staying with us for the AM News. Let's get to our first story. 4 incumbent members of Parliament in the Ashanti region will not partake in the upcoming New Patriotic Party's parliamentary primaries. They include the first Deputy Speaker of Parliament, who doubles as MP for Bekwai, Joseph Osei-Wusu, Majority Leader and Member of Parliament for Swami, Osei Mensa Bunsu. Other MPs are the ones for Oforikrom, Ahafwano South, East and Kwabre East constituencies. They have all decided not to seek re-election and thus did not file. Emmanuel Bright-Kweku brings us a wrap of the filing of nominations in that region.
The Ashanti region boasts as the region with the highest number of parliamentarians, with the New Patriotic Party holding a majority of these seats. 43 out of the 47 seats are on the ticket of the ruling NPP. But the first Deputy Speaker of Parliament and MP for Bekwai, Joseph Osei-Wusu, Majority Leader and MP for Swami, Osei Mensa Bunsu, Emmanuel Mafo of the Oforikrom constituency, alongside MP for Kwabre East, Francisca Oti-Mensah, and Ahafwano South East Member of Parliament, are not in the race for the upcoming elections. With the parliamentary primaries in the offing, a significant number of the incumbent legislators in the region are filing nominations to retain their seats. At the Old Tafo constituency, Vincent Ekowasifwa is contending Dr. Sewa Donko after the two locked horns in the 2020 primaries. Dr. Donko says it is time to serve the entire constituency fairly.
Yeah, I understand development, I understand leadership. All my life till now, I've been in service, I've been in positions of leadership, and what I've learned is what I want to be able to bequeath my society or community with. I represent the aspirations of the community, and that's what even makes it very important, because the community, we need the community to support Dr. Bawumia.
Having contested twice in the parliamentary elections of the NPP, Vincent Frimpong-Menu is making a third appearance for the Kwadaso seat. He is in a fierce contest with incumbent MP Kingsley Nyako.
If you look at the other person who is the incumbent and wants to come again, everybody has seen that he didn't do well. And we are here to cause change. People take Kwadaso for granted. People look for opportunities and they say, oh, I can go and contest Kwadaso. They take their votes there. They deceive the people. I am one of them, and I am volunteering that one of our own has to stand in for them.
The Bantima constituency would see a tough competition between incumbent MP Francis Asenso-Boakye and Raphael Ejapong.
God willing, I will get the endorsement, and that will be the first time a sitting member of parliament in Bantima has survived a contest here in Bantima. Everybody has the right to contest as long as you qualify. Okay, but the person so far that I've heard, as far as I know, is not a match for me.
All eyes on Bantima. In fact, the whole of the republic is on Bantima, because we have been informed that that it's kind of a contest between the president and Kennedy Ejapong. That is what I've been told. But I believe that I'm going to win this contest.
In the Kwabri East constituency, 5 aspirants are contesting the seat after the incumbent MP Francisca Oti-Mensah declared her intentions to opt out. Patrick Amakokofo, an aspirant, is optimistic of victory.
I said I will be the real representative for Kwabri East. I understand them. I'm a delegate, I'm a grassroots person, so I've been with them all these years. So I know their fears, I know whatever their cries are. So I understand them better than any of the candidates. So once I get the nod, I'll be able to give them whatever they need.
He's fiercely contested by the former organizer and municipal chief executive of the constituency.
Kwabri people, they want somebody that they can approach. They want somebody who has a vision for the constituency. And knowing me for a few years now, and what I have done to impact the lives of the people, they know. For instance, I have in my own way invested about 250,000 cedis in forms of soft loans, interest-free loans to most of the delegates here.
And I have political classmates. When I say I have political classmates, I mean when I was the regional financial secretary, I was operating with people like Justin Kobia, Judy Ombuako, Sampan, Kennedy Kamkan, and others. And I have friends up there. So it's easier lobbying when you go up there because they know me.
The filing of nomination is only a first step of the process. The onus now lies on the aspirants to win the trust and support of the delegates to secure the parliamentary candidature on January 27, 2024. For Joy News, my name is Emmanuel Brightspring.
Let's talk health now. And the National Health Insurance Authority says it is counting on health facilities to engineer the growth of the scheme by stopping illegal charges of their clients. According to the NHIA, such illegal charges reduce the confidence of its clients and force them to withdraw from the scheme. Speaking at the end of year staff Durbar as part of their 25th anniversary, Central Regional Director of the authority, Fred Appiah, said the region was hoping to meet the target they had set. There's more in this report.
The National Health Insurance Authority, since the launch of its 25th anniversary celebration, has been engaging in a series of activities aimed at shoring up its subscriber base. In the central region, there have been blood donation exercises as part of their corporate social responsibility. Regional Director of the authority, Fred Appiah, says the authority is counting on the support of the various health facilities to help grow the numbers of their clients.
The key of those challenges is what we term it illegal charges. You know, when our members go to the facilities, sometimes the facilities, they charge our members. This is not giving them the confidence to renew their card. So we are saying that providers, we want you to give the services to our members. Once you do that, they will continue to renew their card when it expires. In some of the districts, connectivity is also a challenge. And so we are also appealing to the telcos to also help us. But in most of the districts that there are challenges, please, when they are connected, members will get there and then they begin to also get a connection to get their card. We are saying also that some also have few logistical challenges, and I believe my management, headed by Dr. Bernard Okobo, they are doing their best. This year, several logistics has been given to us, and I know next year they will do more to help us achieve our target.
Mr. Appiah wants people to take advantage of the self-service and join the scheme.
You know, the newest of our innovation is the app that has come on board. With this app, it's very simple. You can just be in your house, just sleep. And then when you get up, you just take your phone, you download the app, and then you are good to go. What you are saying is that it's very important. You can use it to renew your card for yourself. You can do for a third party. You can also use it to do new card for yourself and for somebody. In this same app, you can download all the services that insurance covers. So this app is very good. We entreat everybody in Ghana to make sure that you use the app. We want to achieve universal health coverage. Our target is that. And so as a nation, if you're able to get at least 80% of our population, it will help us.
The end of year staff thereby brought together the staff of the authority and some of their stakeholders to reflect on the activities of the authority in the year under review. Reporting for Joy News from Cape Coast, Richard Kwejenyako.
Now, the ASWAD National Dawa Council and the National Representative Council are seeking to address what they say are certain claims made by the National Imam Ahlussunnah wal Jama'ah on the selection of a national deputy at a recent press conference in Accra. According to ASWAD, through ASWAD Constitution, Article 9B, subsection 1D states that the National Imam may deliver such a statement. It does not give him the right to change any portion of the Constitution without due process. Speaking at a press conference in Tamale, National Secretary of ASWAD, Sheikh Sulemana Ahmed Mozu, said the National Chief Imam did not have the power to select any national deputy.
The press conference brought together members of the National Dawa Council, District Imams, National Advisory Board, Women's Wing, and some representatives from Togo and Nigeria, among others. Addressing the media, the National Secretary, Sheikh Sulemana Ahmed Mozu, said in order to seek a solution for ASWAD's challenges, there was the need to build consensus and follow the ASWAD Constitution.
This press statement is indeed to correct certain claims by our National Imam in his recent press statement on Saturday, 16 December 2023. We were compelled to do this publicly because several attempts to correct him privately proved futile. Though the ASWAD Constitution, Article 9B, subsection 1D, says that the National Imam may deliver such statements that shall be binding to the entire ASWAD in the country, directly or through a spokesman. This article does not give the Imam the powers to change any portion of the Constitution without the process. Most importantly, he doesn't have the powers to select national deputy imams, as it is the mandate of the National Dawa Council, NADEC, or to elect all national imams to, as stated clearly in the same Constitution, Article 7C, subsection 1.
In response to the management of ASWAD properties, Sheikh Sulemana said some contributions were made to invest to support ASWAD's headquarters.
On the issues of management of ASWAD properties or finances outside the headquarters, our response is as follows. A. In contributing our quota, the regional imams together decided to contribute money through the Tijaratu Ma'allah initiative to invest in order to support the ASWAD headquarters. The initial contribution amounted to 69,000 Ghana cedis, after which the National Imam requested for the amount to be released, but we, the imams, insisted it was for an investment, as already agreed. After 3 years of mobilization, we realized 230,000 Ghana cedis. We then arrived at a final consensus after several meetings and deliberations to procure a tipper truck at a cost of $81,000, corresponding to 595,350 Ghana cedis on credit, which was paid within 1 year.
Well, being the festive season, one would expect the usual shopping spree at the mall. But it's the opposite this year, as many of the shopping malls in Accra are almost empty, with little shopping. Meanwhile, those seen shopping say the prices of items are better compared to last year. Semefa Rejoice has more in the following report.
The Christmas euphoria at the shopping malls felt different this year. Without the decorated Christmas trees, lights and items, one would think it's just a normal day at the malls. At the Accra Mall, the usual Christmas shopping spree was missing. Even with discounted prices at the Accra Mall, shoppers still lament high prices of items, but say at least it is better than last year.
Well, I would say it's a little bit... with experience, I would say I've experienced it higher than last year, comparing it to last year.
This year's one is better than last year's one.
Really?
Yes, please. So far, this is the first place I've come during the Christmas. But I'm planning to go to West Hills Mall for another experience.
The situation is no different at the Marina Mall. Only a few people can be seen engaging in window shopping, contemplating whether to buy anything or not.
For the price, they are okay. But just that they've shoot up a little bit. But we are okay with it. We are okay with it. And we know the economy too. Now they are in the country, there's hardship, so we're okay with it. I've not seen people too much here like now. Maybe in the previous days, people have come and gone. So for today, I'm here. So it's just that I've not gone to many places, but the place where I am, I've not seen many people there.
So why are shoppers not in the malls as usual? At this point, one can only wonder whether it's the joy of staying at home or the economy has taken a huge toll on the pocket of Ghanaians. For Joy News, Rejoice Semefak Pesos report read to you.
Now, on Boxing Day, many individuals and families spent the day at one of Ghana's biggest pleasure resorts, the Labadi Beach, to wind down. However, it was not enjoyment as usual, but with a bit of careful economics given the prevailing economic situation. Some of the vendors said the volumes of purchases had reduced because many of their patrons now employed strategic measures to ensure they didn't spend much. Elikem Day was there and now reports.
Spend time together to take stock of happenings in the year. At the Labadi Beach Resort, revelers wind down with drinks and food.
Every Christmas has always been a cool moment where family and friends who have traveled outside and beyond come around and say hello to each other and then reflect what's time that have gone back. So basically this one is also the same way we're enjoying it. We came around not long. We really want to embrace nature, see friends and some families around, and so basically it has been cool so far with me. And then,
well, if you are live, that means we should not just shy. We should come out and then come and have some little fun of ourselves.
Okay, so tell us about your enjoyment here so far. You have been, I can see some of them have been playing around. And
they have enjoyed themselves very well. They have swim a little bit of it. This is the first time. This is our first time here, so we have enjoyed ourselves.
However, it is not enjoyment as usual, but with a bit of careful economics given the prevailing economic situation. Ishmael, a vendor, says revelers don't buy as much as they used to.
Right now, the money no the systems again. But people they come, you don't buy anything for you. You see, people they come and you go bring one food, one drink for them. One day go no say here, you go come here, you go sell everything for them. Right now, one them go buy everything for house, you go come here, there, but so you know good. That one there, you know good. See now you say you go buy, you say they come beach here, come tap beach, you buy something for beach. You know you say.
It's on that beachy note that we cap off the news. But stay with us. We had that extended conversation coming up with Dr. Kwame Asante. He joins us for the news review. It's a discussion on a lot of what has happened this year. Stay for that. Welcome back on the AM show. Time now for us to get into the newspapers. Well, at least what we can find online. We're going to be sharing those those stories with you on the online portals. But we're also going to have an assessment of this year, the major stories that have taken place and more. And so this is going to be an extended version of the newspaper review in case you didn't catch the start where we introduced that. So it's going to be an extended version of the news review. We're spending about 45 minutes more till the top of the hour, the next hour, I mean. But let me just let you know, as always, this segment brought to you by Endpoint Homeopathic Clinic. And here's what they're offering you. If you're a man, you've not checked this year, you've not checked for a long time, probably throughout your life, you've never checked, and you've hit 40 upwards, you need to check your prostate. Anything could happen. You don't want to be caught pants down. If you're a woman, fertility is crucial. You probably want to bear your own children. I mean, there are women who say they don't care. But how about you? Do you care? And if you care about that, then how concerned are you about your fertility? Or do you assume it's a given? That's why you also ought to get yourself checked. Go to Endpoint Homeopathic Clinic. Now, for these two screenings, they're offering them for free. Absolutely free. All you have to do is make your way to any of the branches of Endpoint Homeopathic Clinic. Let's start with Accra. They're at Spintex opposite the Shell signboard. If you're in Kumasi, Kronum Abwehia, behind the Angel Educational Complex, there's Takrady Anaji Estate, there's Temma Community 22, there's Techiman Hanswa in Asiama and Tema. Their call lines are the following: 0244 867 068 or 0274 234 321. Endpoint Homeopathic Clinic, the end to chronic disease. But just the start of the news review. Joining me this morning, I am glad to welcome him aboard. He is a political scientist. He also is director of the Center for European Studies at the University of Ghana. He's in the person of Dr. Kwame Asante. Doc, good morning.
Good morning, Ben. I salute you. I like your shirt. Merry
Thank
Christmas.
you.
Happy New Year to you in advance, my brother.
Thank you. I was just going to say Merry Christmas once more and Happy New Year in advance to you as well. May the new year bring us many good things, spiritually and physically. Amen.
And politically.
And politically. Well, I totally agree with you on that. So yes. Today's session is an extraordinary one because we have more time and we can dilate on a number of crucial issues. I don't want to take the wind out of your sail. I want to throw it to you for starters. What are some of the most topical matters you have encountered this year? I mean, we can talk about the three arms of government, Parliament itself on the floor of Parliament. Definitely we'll talk about the imports bill. Then there's the executive itself and its own actions. Of course, the OSP feeds into that. And then the judiciary itself and some bashing it has taken. The rebuttals, the rebuffing of certain comments and everything in between. And generally, our social life as Ghanaians. We can talk about our sports fortunes in sports. Look at our Black Stars now and everything. So I'm throwing the ball into your court. You decide where we start.
Ben, it's you've left me deep in the sea. I don't know where to start.
Start from somewhere.
Yeah, political issues. Come on, man, you have a lot to talk about, and I don't know where to start. But I'll start with basically the general life view of the ordinary man. Because, Ben, my whole life, I want to dedicate it to the fight against injustice, the fight for the needy and the vulnerable, the fight for my society, which I want to build so that one day when I'm not here and gone, I will be proud where I am if I have that opportunity to see what I've left behind. Make sure that I contribute my quota towards the building of the state. For that basis, or on that basis, I really want to start with the needy, the vulnerable, the poor. I am always saddened when I see people who sell in the street.
Yeah.
With their babies at their backs, running after one car, from one car to the other. And you look at the things that they sell. You ask yourself, are they able to make meaningful livelihood out of what they trade in? And the answer is a big no, because you and I know that that is not the reality. So how do you survive? And this thing has not been a border to political leaders in this country. It's a shame. It's a shame that people live after independence, that there was the hope that when administration is given to the black man, the Ghanaian, to manage, things will be better off. Is that the situation we see for ourselves? Is that what we bargain for? You see people, from poverty to poverty. One would have expected something different, that from poverty to riches, from poverty to meaningful life. Our leaders have failed us woefully. Woefully. It's so painful. When they leave office in no time, I tell you, they bask in wealth. And my question is, we as an ordinary people, have we seen it? We are also a part to be blamed in this discourse, because when we see all these things, we hide behind the cloak of party politics, ethnicity, religion, and glorify them without punishing them so severely. And it would deter them from doing what they do. We rather defend them. So they think the status quo should be maintained at all times. I think that this must come to us as a way of reflection. Then we reflect well, so that we would stand up and defend ourselves using the rules of the game, and make sure that whoever doesn't work for our interests, that person should not be given any office. We should not shy away from this. It's so difficult for people, and that they sacrifice their own survival for a useless government, for a useless political party, without showing that they are wrong. And that is one of the things that has brought us far. We as elite, you and I, and the rest of the people who are part of this group, we also must take part of the flag. We have done injustice against the state. That, look, we think about our interests and forget them. The poor, the needy, the vulnerable. Why? Why are we like that? We sign contracts that do not inure to the benefit of this country. We make policies that affect only the rich, the poor, the elite, and the educated. The needy and the poor, more often than not, we leave them at the lower level of the ladder. Why? We, as political actors in society, we have allowed, and here I'm talking about government, and particularly I'm directing to this government. This government has sat down for rivers, for streams, for whatever to be destroyed in the name of galamsey. Meanwhile, we have given the government the power to resist this, deal with this head on. Government has played less service. And today, our country is now saddled with diseases that are as a result of these illegal activities. Now, they are all over in this country. The state have to look for hard money to be able to finance the healthcare needs of these people. And I ask myself, do we have a government, or our government is on sabbatical leave? It's a shame unto this government. It must bow its head in shame. I will not mince words at all. Why do we do this to ourselves? Why? And for me, it's a pain, because look, colonialism played for so many years, and they left this country with our water bodies intact. We started mining after colonial rule, even though we had little problems, but our water bodies were by and large kept intact. Why do we have a government which seems to have no capacity or regard for the capacity of the state? Why? It's very unfortunate. It's unfortunate. We always come out and defend the indefensible and support things that do not bode well for our very survival. We always come out with things that do not support us. We tell you that, look, expenditure is too high. Government, reduce it. Government will not budge. We tell you unnecessary use of resources is part and parcel of this government. But hey, government will not listen. The size of government is too big for a poor country such as Ghana. Please shy away from this. Government will not listen. Today, we are in the hands of IMF. And today, anytime the IMF wants us to provide a document or another, we have done that already. Oh, please, we submitted this document and we are in the news, and that the document was submitted and all that. You will not be disciplined unless somebody take a cane and then hold it at the back of your head. That one, you'll be disciplined. If we are able to do things right the way we do and right down on time, giving IMF what? Conditionalities and all that. Why didn't we have the time we had opportunity? Why didn't we what? Make the best out of the situation? That we avoid going to IMF and all that. And all that. Just to what? Add to the voice of the guy. Said that, look, IMF has not developed any country. And it is a truism. We have to what? Take the bull by the horn and build our own society that will stand the time. I wonder our political leaders that in this period of time that they have to go into themselves and then do the self-introspection, all right, and see where we have gone wrong, and then right the wrongs. Aristotle, the greatest of all, has told us that the unexamined life is not worth living. Yeah. You need to do self-introspection. If we really are a people who want to hand something over from generation to generation, that is my message. Let's do self-introspection. Where we got wrong, we be bold enough and admit our mistakes and then ask for support, because there are already the support system exists. Let's tap into that and build a society. We should avoid discrimination. We should avoid what? Bogus policies that do not bring anything to us. All right? All these things are things that are bottled up, affecting the ordinary Ghanaian. But I tell you, we cannot build any meaningful society when the populace, the demos, democracy, it comes from the word what? Yeah. Demos, the people at the grassroots, at what? At the peripheries of political what? Society. If we don't bring them along, I'm afraid the best society we can build is nothing but a society that hovers around what? Mobocracy or oligarchy, which do not support anybody. Please, this country has a lot. And my worry was that, and it takes me back to the realms of Ali Mazuri, may he so rest in peace, in his work. Africa is the richest, the poorest. Right? One aspect of his work that he wrote for the Wreath Lecture, The African Condition, one of the that is the richest, yet the poorest. Ghana, I want to single out Ghana. We are rich in all things, yet we are poor. Why? We have leaders who don't care a hoot about how to manage resources effectively for a meaningful life for the ordinary man. We have resources that we misplace them in terms of their usage. We have resources that we don't know what to do with them. We have resources that we abuse and abuse heavily. We are rich. We are rich in mineral, timber. We are rich in arable lands for agricultural purposes. Yet we import tomatoes from a desert area. Yet we are here crying for food. Yet we have no industry that process minerals that we extract from our soils. What a people. What a people. But I don't blame the politicians solely, but because the political actors are nothing but a reflection of the bigger political society. We have stayed aloof and as if we don't care a hoot about what is happening. Please, we need to stand up and make sure that the direction of this country is so much important to our lives and that we are ready to support the cause of meaningful government. And any government that fails to deliver on its promise, we should not hesitate at all and throw that government into the lake of fire using the rule of the game.
You spoke about support. Now we're on the ropes again. We've had to go to the IMF. Let's talk about our economy. Throughout this fourth Republican experiment, the economy has been crucial in our lives. unemployment has been pivotal. Yet these two demons, so to speak, still plague us. Now, if you go back to our IMF history, you would notice that it started right after the ouster of the Osajafo himself, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, in 1966. And since that time, we've gone back to the IMF a whopping 17 times. What do you make of our recent IMF discourse? The fact that we're back with the IMF, now there are taxes being introduced, elements being added, and everything is supposed to be tied to the IMF. Once you're tied to their apron strings, and it's not to say they are bad, but there are things you will be compelled to do. Things that sometimes, like we know, structural adjustment, may not necessarily inure to the benefit of the masses, the broader spectrum of society. But measures you have to put in place in order to get the money from the IMF. And if you don't meet them, you don't get the funding. Here we are again. We're entering an electoral year, and we've seen this before in the past administration. We're entering an electoral year. We are with the IMF. Things are hard. We were just showing you in the course of the news. I don't know whether you followed, but if you go even to the malls, the major malls, Accra Mall, ANC Mall, wherever you go, the crowds turning up there are nothing like you would usually see at Christmas. And in fact, if you go and you observe, you'll see that a lot of people are simply there maybe to take their family out. That is it. Window shopping. People are not buying. If people don't buy, those who are selling don't get the funds they need to do business, to get more into the shop, to be able to expand their businesses. If that happens, it means their families have to also live on a restricted budget. In simple terms, there's no spending. And if there's no spending, the economy will not receive that, jab in the arm for it to be up there, so to speak. No money, no spending, not a good sign by any economics for an economy. But that's where we find ourselves. So I want your reflection on this IMF program. You've seen a number of them throughout your life. IMF. Where we are currently, what do you see? And does it paint any picture that we are being more disciplined on the fiscal level, on the economic level? Whether we're acting as rational sentient beings. And I use my words carefully because, like you said, sometimes political managers act as though they were bereft of sense until we hit the brick wall. Then they come back, and then the IMF must teach us sense. What's your reflection on that?
Ben, God bless you. You have touched on an important aspect of the conversation. Expanding the frontiers of this constitution to this level. IMF, we have seen it. It must also be noted that Nkrumah's regime was preparing gradually for the IMF. But for the coup, Nkrumah's regime would have been there. But it gives us an idea that at a point in time, we lose our focus, we lose our direction, and we are not able to continue with policies that we have put in place. And look at the history of IMF. What really triggers all the IMF intervention is two things. One, indiscipline and financial resources. When you lack resources and you are indisciplined, you obviously will go to the IMF. Shouldn't be what with resources, because from material to human resources, we have a lot. That will at least give us a breather in what the things that we do here. But hey, we have decided that we will arrogate all these powers to the Bretton Woods institutions to support us. But no country on the surface of the earth has been supported and helped to build that country by the IMF. One is because we are indisciplined. Because if we are disciplined, the very little things that push us to the frontiers of the IMF, we avoid them.
Right.
Take, for instance, the Ghana Integrity Initiative have made it abundantly clear to us that every year we lose 3 billion to corruption.
Those numbers are higher. We are now being told it's anything between 4 and 6 billion. And the finance minister himself, I remember some time back, maybe a year or 2 years ago, made mention of the fact that indeed we lose those sums of money to corruption, to wastage in the system.
Yes. So even if, let me be generous and then keep it at just 3 billion, is it not 3 billion that we are hailing the IMF and all that? If we are able to plug corruption from our political system, we'll be able to save enough to build a system that we call our own, and then we'll shepherd it to fruition. And that is one. We are indisciplined. Look at Auditor General's report. It's replete with a lot of cases of what? Financial impropriety. Meanwhile, we have so many laws that we have carved with the hope that they would deal with these things. They don't work. And for me, it is one of the problems that we face in this country. We have not sat down to do a reflection on this. If we have what? A lawmaking body that makes law, they've ended their business. All right? It must be enforced. Do we have a law enforcement agency in this country? We do have. But are they working as expected? That question you and I cannot answer because we are not seeing much. Go to other jurisdictions. Let me give the case of America. Americans will tell you that their parliament is unique. I was in a program and then this thing came up and I jumped out and I say, hey, hold on a minute. How can American parliament be unique? You perform the same function as all other legislatures do around the world. You say, hey, what American parliament does is that when they make laws, they go out there, see whether the laws are working, so that the lawmaking process to them is complete when they are able to get to the field and see whether the laws are working. Our parliament should take a second look at what they do. All right. I must credit them that they've come out with laws that have really stood the test of time. But of course, there are some with problems. One aspect I want them to look at is to be able to go outside parliament and see whether our laws are working, and then bring actors to book on the matter. That is one surest way that we can deal with some of these problems. Right. The issue of what? Because I listened to Mr. Haruna Idrisu before he left office. There was a program that the leaders spoke, he and Mr. Chairman Sabunsu and the rest of them. And Haruna admitted that they have really, pampered this government sort of. And that today, the debt burdens and where we are, they believe that part of the blame they must take because they approve these things for them. Yeah. I was very happy with that admission. But look, I have a CCL and one senior brother who, made a mistake in the house and said, yes, Kweku. Kweku said, I am sorry to Kofi. And Kofi said, look, sorry doesn't fix a problem. Right. And I was fortified, that statement by that 6-year-old boy. It says, sorry doesn't fix a problem. So quickly I jump in and ask him, how do we fix a problem? He said, fix the problem and stop saying sorry. I said, wow, 6 years boy. He says, sorry doesn't fix. We don't want to hear sorry, right? Let us fix the problem, all right? Parliament should fix the problem, that whenever a policy comes to them and they know that deep down in their heart, it will not inure to the benefit of the country, they should muster the courage and throw it away. There are a number of instances where they have done that, but we want to see more of this. That will be able to ensure value for money, and it will shepherd us toward the promised land. All these things, if you look at the indiscipline, if you extend it, go to the way this government has handled things. People who are accused of corruption, quickly, then the government comes to their rescue. Come and talk about that, especially who are the real drivers of this administration. They come and clear them. And Mr. President has been guilty of this. And he himself is not happy with this. That people call him a clearing agent. All right. But the question is that if he doesn't want that, then he should allow the system to deal with the issues the way they ought to be dealt with. Take yourself out and let the process. And this is where I always see my president getting it wrong. That he always will come in and make a statement that doesn't support anything. All right. Allow the system. Institutions are there to rise up towards such occasions. That is the essence of institutions. If you study institutions, the institutions are the building blocks of every government. And all these things are part and parcel of what? The process. We ourselves have also what? Contributed to undermining the very system that we have. To the extent that, look, we work against productivity. We, loot the state as individuals. And then the little that come to the state, we want to find a means of what? Taking a share that does not belong to us. All these things have affected and has contributed to the indiscipline I'm talking about. The resources, if you don't have resources, you go to IMF. We have what? Resources, except that we have not managed them what? Prudently. So, lack of prudence in what? Management of resources, put together with what? Indiscipline, has sent it to IMF. And today, we go there. And if you look at governments that we have in this republic, you realize that they will always what? Have IMF as what their last resort when they mismanage the economy, and you are talking to them, they will not listen. And then in the long run, they push you there. Okay. The difficulties that we are going to face from there, because they have so much, they don't feel it. And we are there feeling the pinch. And I believe that all these things are things, if we are a serious people, we'll be able to put our foot down and said, enough of this. We are not going to the IMF. The little that we have, let's manage it. I tell you, this country will change and change for the better.
Let me take a few messages that we've got coming through. Then I'll read something quick from the 2023 investment climate statements, the U.S. Department of State, when it comes to Ghana and how they picture us. And then, Doc, we shall take a quick look at myjoyonline.com and graphiconline.com and cap off the conversation. But let me start with those comments that have come through. This one says, the reason we're in the mess we're in is a result of the greedy people we have as leaders. The financial crimes being committed against Ghana smells to the highest heavens. When you have square pegs in round holes, this is what you get. And you say the finance minister will stop at nothing until Ghana's economy is totally destroyed. That's what you say. Yabua Wisdom says Ghana as a nation needs a disciplined leader. We are blessed with both human and natural resources, but not leaders. That's what he sees. Keith Harris disagrees with you. He says Aristotle is the greatest, and he disagrees. He says your race is the greatest since you gave birth to all civilizations. So instead of calling Aristotle the greatest, you should be calling the greatest people from your race. I know where this is going, but that's over to you if you choose to respond to it, Doc. Raymond Abiu says the surest way of fixing the problem is by arresting Ken Oforiatta and his deputies to account to the Ghanaian people how they utilized the billions of dollars this government borrowed over the past 7 years. Of course, any arrest or anything of that sort has to be in accordance with the law. So you cannot just get up and go and arrest people. But I understand where your sentiments lie. Now, if you look at the executive summary of the U.S. Department of State, the 2023 investment climate statements on Ghana, this is what they say. I'm skipping to paragraphs 2 and 3. The economy remains highly dependent on the export of primary commodities such as gold, cocoa, and oil, and consequently is vulnerable to slowdowns in the global economy and commodity price shocks, but also benefits from high oil and gold prices. In general, Ghana's investment prospects are in a flux. It's not stable. As the government of Ghana seeks to attract FDI, foreign direct investment, in agro-processing, mining, and manufacturing, but investor confidence is relatively low. It has made attracting foreign direct investment a priority to support its industrialization plans. Then let me skip to this portion. Challenges to Ghana's economy include high government debt. And we know this administration has added north of 500 billion to our kitty. Particularly energy sector debt, low revenue mobilization, corruption, and inefficient state-owned enterprises. Ghana has a population of 31 million with over 14 million potential taxpayers, but only 6 million of whom file their annual tax returns. As Ghana looks to spur economic recovery and move beyond dependence on foreign aid, it must develop a solid domestic revenue base while also reducing government expenditure. Any quick reflections on that? This is what the Americans, from where they sit, are saying. And these are the very things that always leave us on the ropes when it comes to our economy. Yet our leaders, like someone said in a message, we are blessed with all the natural resources, but we are not blessed with good leaders. Your take, Doc.
I think the document is nothing but a true reflection of what is happening in this country. If you look at the things that they said, let me just tease out the salient, the primary commodities. I listened and I was attention to my president when he was campaigning. He admitted that the Gadgetsburg economy doesn't help anybody and that there was the need to build from that. So industries will come and turn primary commodities into finished products. That was a game changer. The message really resonated with people and people gave their all to the president. Today, very little we hear about industries. Why? And we have not taken the trouble to demand answers that, look, Mr. President, you said this. Is that what we are seeing? I listened to Kennedy Japan when he was campaigning, and he said that he has gone round this country, 1D, 1F. He has not seen much. That was very, very instructive, especially given who he is and the role, the position he occupies in the NPP. Why are we where we are? Countries that have been able to develop, industries have been key, where people with less employable skills, they get in and they find something to do. People with certain skills get there and then get jobs. And that they take all manner of people. We know this. Why are we doing something wrong? Is it preaching of virtues and practicing vice? Is that the case that we are having in this country? Look at low investment, investor confidence. Yes, if you are corrupt, if you have debt around your neck, if you can't manage your resources very well, your water bodies are polluted and the rest of them, obviously, investors will shy away from a country like this because they really want to, first of all, get their investment after they put it on the ground. And then because they work with people, they want all other things to work very well. Once they detect that there are problems, one point or another, they want to shy away from the system. This country is so much attractive to any human being who want to invest here, provided we are able to position it very well and do the ABCDs, get them right. Once we get the basis right, I can tell you, we will have a difficulty of managing investors in this country. But is that what we are seeing now? And sometimes I ask myself, we have all manner of professional scholars in this country, but these problems keep on occurring. And we ask ourselves, do we have solution for them or not? Look at the issue of debt. What government said about NDC, when NDC was in office, that really the government was not virtually thinking right. And that it has, negotiated this government's life with debt and a whole lot of things. Look, only to come to office and do worse. When the alarm bells were sounding, the government did not listen. Scholars were talking all over.
Right.
We had them discussing these issues. Like, look, the way we are going, a time will come, we cannot sustain it. Here you are. It all fell on deaf ears, and we are back to square one. All these things militate against the smooth running of a state. A government that doesn't want to listen It's a government that takes you to where you don't belong. And that is the problem we have. Low revenue mobilization. Yes, because corruption is in there. So how do you, get the necessary revenue you want? The capacity of the state relative to what? Revenue mobilization. And here I am talking about the extractive capacity. It's completely what? Weak. And that is the manifestation we are seeing. People take revenue that belongs to the state and pocket them. People, abuse them. Money that is in the kitty of government, they abuse them. Government officials themselves mismanage state resources, and government doesn't want to talk about it. Individuals abuse. So it's a mix of what? Problems. State-owned enterprises are not working. If you go to the political economy of this country, one of the things that drove the NLC into what? Closing all the state-owned enterprises was the issue that they were not performing. So one would have thought that from 1966 onwards, we would have learned our lessons well and improve our state-owned enterprises. The few that existed after the 66 coup, what have we done? The story has been what? Bad stories from bad to what? Worse. Why do we want to what? Have a society like that? State-owned enterprises are critical.
Right.
You and I are alive to the literature around state-owned enterprises and how they help build the Eastern European societies and all that. If we don't want to what? Make use of them, let's throw all of them away and build into our system something that works. But if we want to maintain them, let us ensure for value for money. All these things affected the size of government.
And maybe that'll be the final point. I just want to wrap with you on the online portals. So talk about the size of government and then we'll proceed from there.
The size of government. Government at the beginning of this administration, when it started 125 ministers or so, people talk. And what we heard from the government was that wait for results. Where are the results?
The president said he was a man in a hurry and he needed many people to execute the work.
I'm sure Mr. President still is in a hurry. But where are the results? In politics, it's nothing but contest of ideas and referendum of your work. What work have they done to show us that they are really in a hurry? And that where are the results? Today, the size of the government, when we talk, they say, look at it, they compare, they do this, it's the least of orders. Recently, I heard the General Secretary of MPP, in that non-performing ministers must be kicked out. And I asked myself, when did they get this awareness? All right. But I did see, if you go through our conversation one of the days, I said that, look, we are talking about this, and Mr. President will not hear. The reality will dawn on him one day. And I am happy that the General Secretary of the party come face to face with the terms of today, that incompetent leaders must be thrown out of government and make sure that we have people who can deliver. Government is what? Based on record, and is based on what? Performance. So if there is a non-performing person in the government, why do you keep him? Are you keeping him for the sake of keeping him, or you want results?
Okay.
And I think government must be results oriented.
All right. Just a quick one on education, because you're an academic yourself. When you look at education, basic level, tertiary level, basic secondary, there's free SHS, and then the tertiary level. I need that reflection in a minute. And it's also on the back of, I see on My Joy Online, Mahama Challenge's recent WASSCE results. He says some invigilators relaxed on the job as teachers have found aiding students in answering questions, and all of that compromised the quality of education. In fact, this came after the Education Minister, Dr. Yawase Duchum, announced that this year's results were the best since 2015. But at what exactly is happening that is creating the best? Is it truly because these students are so much better? What is the reflection when they get to the tertiary level? For the first time, I hear of students who supposedly gave AI answers, artificial intelligence answers, senior high school. So obviously there was interference, and whether it's the teachers, headmasters, whichever other people aided some of these students. That is not to also take away from the fact that they also did well. What is your quick reflection on that? And I think we can wrap it there in a minute.
Yes, Ben, I wish your team would do us a little favor by projecting the score, the WASI results, because I've not taken the trouble to look at it. I was just busy doing a few things. Because every year they will come out, and I must admit that I've not seen the results. They are saying it's good and all that. Every year they tell us.
In English, for example, there was a pass rate of over 70%, those scoring from A1 to C6. But believe you me, if you pick any, even some of the best of these students who are scoring A1, and you assess them orally in written form, and that is just one. I usually talk about English because it's one of the areas I have taught and I'm also passionate about. But you could pick any of those areas, and it reflects. My colleagues who are lecturers at the university, they'll tell you that, look, these students that come in, their levels of so many things are so poor that sometimes we must spend time that we should have been using to teach them the core matter, teaching them other things, just to bring them up to par.
Man, I just want to just draw the attention to something. Let them take the figures, the real figures, those who sat for a particular paper, and then do the mathematics and look at those who pass from A1 up to C6, and look at those who fell out of this. That is where the trouble is. Always they come with statistics. They will tell you, 40%. But when you go into that, and I must admit that this one I've not seen that, you will realize that sometimes you have over 200,000 people who have failed a particular course. Then you ask yourself, how do you praise yourself when you have about 200 people who have failed a course? All right. Something is basically wrong. Then you go into, and here I want you to look at what their core courses. By the time you do this mathematics, you realize that, hey, even though statistically they are giving you certain figures, but a quantum of people who are failing the course, which is so important, the core course, that once you fail one, you can progress to the next level of your academic career. Right. You are out. That is where our attention is. But I will also share in the issue that the AI technology is now affecting quality of examination. I was happy WAEC brought it out, but that should not be the end. In the university, we have all these things. That's why we have the system that checks the plagiarism and the rest.
Yeah.
One of the things, I conduct a number of objective tests. And students, I met a student and said, say, this AI thing, sometimes, look, we get answers from, but your paper, we are not able to do that. And I asked why. Do you know why? I said more theoretical question. More practical question. So the questions that when you go online or use the system, you won't find any answer. The blend, theory and practice, work together. So the way we handle this thing, I want WAEC to focus the attention on the two, theory and practice, put together. That at the end of the day, in spite of the technology, let us not say that the AI is not good. It's good if we want to employ them effectively. But in examination, we don't need them. We need a raw brain so that we can build the best out of that. Let's make sure that that AI system, all right, we set questions, students will sit down and think, and they will not have the answer. Issue of invigilation and all that. If we want to get their acts together, invigilation will be key. How did people get access to AI technology? It means that supervision was very, very, very poor. Was very, very poor. And you need to work all these bases. Once you get your base right, you'll be able to lessen some of this problem. And we need to also strengthen the syllabus, teaching of the subject matter. Sometimes I tell you, I pose questions to people who have studied government in secondary school at my level 100 class. And I realize that there are problems. There are real problems. That is not to say that the teachers are not doing well in where they find themselves. A large number of them are doing their best. But we need to up our game so that we get nothing but the best for this country.
All right. Doc, we're so grateful that you took the time to join us. In fact, this final message, Abdullahi Freeman says, I always love listening to your guest, Dr. Kwame Asante. He speaks to the facts always, and that's why we keep bringing you on. Doc, we're grateful. If it's Amen.
Amen. I wish Ghanaians the best in this season, and then let us approach the new year with a reflection that we want to serve our society well. We want to build a society that we can be proud of, a society we call our own. That is all.
Thank you, Dr. Kwame Asante. He's a political scientist, also director of the Center for European Studies. He joined us for this extensive conversation. Happy birthday coming from Linda Doreen Ashong to Akwesi Pepra Odum, branch manager of Republic Bank Spintex, is from Linda, AC Cheryl, and Barbara, your UCC sisters. And then, Happy New Year and blessed birthday to Noel of Adenta from your mom, Mary Ando of Snit, Kolebu branch. So happy birthday to Akwesi Pepra Odum and Noel of Adenta. The final one I'll do, I didn't know, if you're not aware of this, it could be pretty tricky for you. You know, Saturday banking used to go on until COVID happened, and then many people just dropped off. It wasn't happening anymore. Just this past Saturday, I had to do something at the bank, and I found out that all these branches that online you would find were open were actually not open. Only one was open. ADB on the Ring Road Central stretch, close to Paloma, but on the other end. So I want to salute Godfred Ejapong, Vida Wampa, and Vida Ankoma. All three of you, Godfred Ejapong, Vida Wampa, and Vida Ankoma. ADB Ring Road Central staff. Thank you for the good work you're doing for God and country. Before we get into sports, Endpoint Homeopathic Clinic helping us to bring you this segment. They are offering you, if you're a man, prostate screening for free. If you're a woman, fertility screening for free. Locate them here in Accra at Spintex opposite the Shell signboard. Kumasi Chronomabwe here behind the Angel Educational Complex. There's Takrade Anaji Estate, there's Tema Community 22, there's Techiman Hansua, and there's Siama and Zema. If you'd like to call them, these are the two numbers you can reach them on. 0244 867 068 or 0274 234 321. Endpoint Homeopathic Clinic, the end to chronic disease. Adams Wadi, I appreciate your comment. I am very grateful. It's a flattering comment. I'm grateful. I'll not read it on air, but thank you so much. God bless you. On that note, we settle for sports up next. Welcome aboard, and here we are. It's the end of the year 2023. We're slowly getting there, and we're going to have conversations with a number of personalities just to cap off the year properly. And today we're starting off from Job 600 right here in Parliament, and we have our guest, the Member of Parliament for Bole Bamboy, in the person of Yusuf Sulemana. He joins the conversation. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, my brother. We are doing well.
Great. Something I just said brought this to mind. You know, we refer to all of you as honorable members of Parliament. Now, right from the assemblies, everyone wants to be referred to as honorable. What's in a title? Let's start the conversation off from there. And what does it mean if someone doesn't call a member of Parliament honorable?
I don't think there'll be a problem if you don't call a member of Parliament honorable. It's just a title. I mean, we have what we call Mr., Doctor, and what have you. There are others who prefer to be called by just their first names. So for me, if you call me honorable, good. If you don't call me honorable and you mention my name, I'm good to go. It's just a title that has been put in there to sort of draw the attention of the person who is given this title to be mindful that there's some kind of responsibilities, okay, that he's supposed to carry through. And so for me, it's just a reminder that this particular thing put on you gives you some kind of respect, some kind of honor, and so you must live to meet that responsibility. Apart from that, if you call me Yusuf, I'm fine. Some call me Sulemana, even though that's my surname, I'm good to go. And in my constituency, the children, everybody, they say Ore everywhere. And so if you go to my constituency now, and you want to know me, you want to get to know where I stay, You meet any child on the street, tell him or her that you are looking for Ore's house, and the child will bring you to Ore's house.
What does the Ore mean?
It's just short form of original. So O-R-I, Ore. So sort of original, we've shortened it to Ore. And that's my campaign.
Is that your nickname?
Yeah, so we're in school, and then same names, Yusuf Sulemana, another Yusuf Sulemana, the same class, and so there was this argument, and I said, look, we have counterfeit and we have original. And so I'm bearing the original name, Yusuf Sulemana. I know students and kids, we just picked it from there, and I said, he's the original. And he has come to stay. And that's my political or my campaign name. Wherever I go in the constituency, every child who can speak knows me to be Ore. And sometimes on Fridays are market days, if I decide to ride my bicycle in town, then you see a lot of children following me as if they've seen a new mad person in town chanting my name, Ore, and I share whatever I have with them, and we go on. So that's how I got the title Ore.
I see.
Yes.
Which of the bicycle types do you use? You remember from back then we used to call those types Buzanga Volvo.
I know,
do you have one of those?
I used to use it, but I know my constituents are watching. I won't lie. I use what they call the mature bikes.
Okay.
That's what I use, a green one. And I'm able to ride in town, and it's quite interesting. Sometimes I even walk. And when you are walking to town, it's interesting. You see a lot of people stopping and offering you lifts. They don't see why you should walk. But I said to myself that, look, my job is not a permanent job. So I shouldn't depart from my normal way of living. I know one day I won't be MP. I shouldn't find it difficult to associate with my people. Because if you are going to live a certain life, now you are not in government, you are not in power, it becomes difficult for you to reconnect. I don't want to have that problem. So I walk around, I ride my bicycle, I ride my motorbike, and I tell you, some of my people like that. They see that you are a simple person, and that's a fact. By His grace, I don't think my strength or my anything could have brought me here. So it is God who has brought me here, and I mustn't forget of where I started.
And just to go back to why I posed the question about the title Honorable.
Yes.
Sometimes you interact, and I have had cause to say that some members of parliament sometimes don't act so honorably in context. Like when you were selecting the Speaker of Parliament and some of the actions in there. But again, some also take so much joy in our country in titles without necessarily doing the work attached to it. There's an interesting story of Kojo Baredu, may his soul rest in peace, who had served in different ministries, including the finance ministry, and how there was an event and an MP came and the lady wrote down his name without honorable, and this person was fuming. But then Kojo Baredu came and she was writing honorable, and he said, oh, just write Kojo Baredu.
That's all.
So simplicity versus bearing. We love titles in our country sometimes without really doing anything. But let's set that aside. What has the year been like for you, 2023? You've been in the 7th Parliament. You've now been in the 8th Parliament. Come next year, in fact, come 2025, we'll enter the 9th Parliament of the 4th Republic. How has 2023 treated you?
2023, as a person, I'll say that the good Lord has been very, very good to me. One major event that took place that could have turned my career upside down has to do with our primaries.
Right.
And so, if I've gone through the primaries successfully, I should thank God, and will not have any reason to say that the 2023 hasn't treated me well. And so for me, if you ask me, is one of the turning points in my life, because come to think of it, I've been a member of parliament in the 7th Parliament, in the 8th Parliament, and now going to the 9th Parliament. And so I had to go through a very competitive, if you like, elections. And so if at the end of the day I carry the day, I must thank God And I must say that the good Lord has been nice to me. He's been good to me in this particular year. Having said this, it's also important to say that in terms of finances, in terms of economic hardship, in terms of getting back to my people and doing what I think is needful, it's been very, very challenging. Very, very challenging. I had wanted to do quite a number of things for my people, but it's been difficult.
Things like what?
For instance, many of them, as we speak, do not have water, and I thought I could drill a number of boreholes for them. I've not been able to do enough. Just yesterday that I got a contractor, he's on his way to go and see if he can drill 7 more. We have done about 5, and I'm hoping that before the end of January, I should be able to add more to them. Again,
in January 2024.
Yes. So this year, for instance, I'm targeting. I was supposed to do say 18, but I'm likely to do about 12 or so. Then I'll carry the next to early next year. So again, school fees, medical bills, many other things. Sometimes you feel that these are genuine requests, genuine concerns. Somebody is sick at a hospital. But I've always said to myself that even if I wasn't a member of parliament and I see somebody sick and the person cannot afford, why not? I have to come in. Not to talk of when the people have reposed trust in you, they've asked you to lead them, and now they come to you sometimes in very, very dire situations and you're unable to help. It gives you sleepless nights. The previous years have been better than this year in terms of economic strength, and that is one of the worries, because obviously you know that all of us, our purchasing power has gone drastically very, very down, and so the little you get, what do you think you would have been able to use it for, you're not able to use it for those things. And these are things that you are targeted to be achieved in the year 2023. So we can end up by saying that, yes, it treated us very well, but on the other hand, we have some challenges that we can discuss.
You started talking about health. I've also been interacting with some of your colleagues, including the Member of Parliament for Sisala West, Mr. Suparu, who told me something that, you know, gave me a bit of a jolt in recent times about the fact that some members of his constituency have to go into Burkina Faso to access healthcare. He spoke about the deplorable state of roads in his constituency and all of that. Let's talk about infrastructure. You can also bring in the bit about health in your constituency, Bole Bamboy. What has it been like? And it's quite a constituency. You inherited it from the former president. He before he became vice president, he was member of parliament for that area before he became also minister and all of that. What is that place like currently?
Yeah, so let's first of all take road network. So many roads were opened up, connecting various communities, so they're able to engage in their farming activities. And they're able to bring their foodstuffs to the market, the central market. Indeed, during his regime, we could see a lot of economic activities going on very well because he had worked hard to open up the roads. Some of these roads that we talk about require annual reshaping and annual maintenance. I can tell you that starting from 2017 to date, most of these roads haven't seen any reshaping. And so they are in a very deplorable state. There's one particular road that links Bole to a very important traditional area called Sonyo. And that is where the district chief executive comes from. It was just last week that we saw a grader on that road. And even when they got halfway the road, they had to brake. I was at the assembly, we had our last assembly meeting, and the district chief executive, the assembly member for that area stood up and said, the contractor ended halfway and ran away, and all of that. It generated a whole lot of controversy at the assembly there. That road, very, very deplorable. There's another road called Kebelma Dakurupe Siripe Road. The NDC started it. They had gone far. It was abandoned. The contractor wasn't paid, and people had to even lose lives as a result of the deplorable state of that road. I remember last year or so, there was this heavy downpour that cut the road into two, unknown to these guys who were riding to that community, thought it was just water. So they ride, when they rode into it, and their lives were ended. Now, recently, you would have also heard me talking about the Dolly Bridge. It was also washed off.
The matters you've been talking about.
It was also washed off, and a lot of properties lost because farm products, some animals were all carried away, and all of that. There's another major road that links Bole to Cote d'Ivoire through a community called Chache. We started it, the NDC government started it, and halfway the project, the NDC lost power. MPP came, and as I speak to you, nothing has happened to it, and so the road has deteriorated seriously and creating havoc. People have lost lives there because they had heaped sands and gravels and chippings on the road unattended to, and so motor riders and a lot of people, passengers, were involved in accidents, and my own cousin lost his life on that road as a result of the negligence of the contractor and those who were working on the road. So basically, when it comes to infrastructure, when it comes to infrastructure and specifically roads, the Bole constituency has really seen nothing in terms of development. You also spoke about health. Health will have a very strong, beautiful hospital. When His Excellency John Dramani Mahama was the president, he made sure that we're always having Cuban doctors, and he was also motivating doctors to go stay there and help the people. The story hasn't been the same because it's not difficult to get the Cuban doctors there, and so in most cases you go and you have only one medical officer, one doctor. They are doing their best, and we have also helped them. I've been able to buy motorbikes for them. I've given them some mattresses. I've given them an incubator. Okay, they used not to have an incubator, and I will always mention this: that incubator has saved a lot of lives. Until I bought the incubator for them, children who were born pre-time had to go back, and the record was so scaring until they approached me. And I remember the director said, "It's quite expensive. That's why we didn't come." I said, "How much is it?" He mentioned the figure. I said, "Look, it's not as expensive as lives, so we have to get it." We fixed it there, and the next time I visited, you won't believe it, 2 children were in the same incubator, side by side. One's head facing west, another one facing the east. Why? Because there was a need for both of them to be safe. And I was asking myself, assuming one of them has some communicable disease, what happens? Wow. So I discussed this once again with His Excellency, the former president, and the wife. And somewhere last year, they had to go and build a very beautiful, modern children's ward as well as maternity ward in Bole to augment the already existing infrastructure we have for the health sector, well equipped, and they gave us many more incubators. And so now we don't have a problem with incubators. You go to the CHIP compounds. I've tried to buy beds for each CHIP compound across the constituency, and some of them too were giving motorbikes so they could commute from the hospital to their various CHIP compounds when there's a need for them to carry materials, and also they go around to educate the folks around their CHIP compounds. So in terms of health, we're not doing badly. There's also this issue of Galamsey in my constituency. is one of the things that we are trying to see how we can ensure that it doesn't bring havoc to our people. Now we have about 3 community mining licenses in the community in the constituency, and they are doing well. And I've been in touch with them, encouraging them and motivating them to ensure that they don't destroy the environment. So it's something that we are looking up to, and if God permits, inshallah, and His Excellency John Dramani Mahama becomes the president again, is one of the areas we are going to use to create more jobs for the youth of that area. We do a lot of farming, and so sometimes I buy fertilizer, I buy catalysis, I buy Wellington boots, I buy chemicals to help the farmers. You won't believe it. Somebody just need a bag of fertilizer to be able to get, say, 1 acre or half. And once he's able to do that and harvest something, it takes him and the family throughout the year. And so I've been doing that, and it's been very, very helpful.
Okay,
I returned from Bole 2 days ago, and I distributed some chemicals, I distributed some catalysis, I gave out some Wellington boots, and when I get back for this Christmas period, I'm going to do that.
So it's quite a lot you're doing, but I seem to also get the picture that you're suggesting everything that is positive that you've alluded to within the past or the previous administration under Mahama, and you've also spoken about some interventions you have brought to bear. Has this current administration done anything good in your constituency?
Anything good? Of course, you cannot be there for all these years without doing something good. But as to whether that is the priority of the people, for instance, we have a 1D, 1F project that they have built. Now it's standing there, but if I don't get people to go and even clean around it, this dry season, the fire will catch it. Okay? But if you asked them, they will say that, oh, we are putting up 1D, 1F there. The structure is there, no equipment, no machine in there.
What's it supposed to do?
So they're supposed to process granules into paste and oil. And that's another issue to discuss. I haven't seen a lot of my people in the area cultivating granules. One would have thought that we'll go in for shea butter, okay? Because that is what we are known to be doing. And so I was not involved in this project. All of a sudden, we're told that they were doing it. But the people have even named it. They said Tunkusa Factory. You know, Tunkusa in Hausa, that is granule paste. You know, so that's how they've even downgraded it. And again, they have a warehouse there, and that warehouse, even though they're not using it for what they had wanted to use it for, I've seen some private share nut dealers renting it and using it. So I wouldn't say that is bad. They have 1 or 2 chip compounds they have built over the years, and again, I think they also, honestly, these are the things that comes to mind.
Health-wise and otherwise.
That's what I'm saying. Health-wise, they bought they constructed 2 chip compounds or so, and completed some that the NDC had started with. Especially this 2021 to date, this period, I haven't seen much. Because, and you don't blame the district assembly, because sometimes their common fund is about 200,000 Ghana cedi.
Right.
So it's difficult for you 200,000 Ghana cedi on quarterly basis to be able to do any meaningful development.
Now, heading into the election for members of parliament, as far as the 9th parliament is concerned, there are so many issues to look at. For you, I'm sure you're going to try to get into parliament again. A very young person on the end of the NPP who wants to uproot you like yam in the literal sense, and he says he's going to do one better on you. The last election you won by about some 14,000 votes, but we also know that there's a stiff challenge coming your way. How are you lacing your boots for that election in 2024, especially considering the youthfulness of your key contender from the MPP?
So to win an election, you need a whole mix. Okay, it's not just being youthful. I see myself as a youth, and the youth associate with me very well. You can have somebody who is very young, but may not be able to gel with his colleagues. So just being young in terms of age does not really mean that the youth will go along with you. But I do not want to denigrate anybody or say anything unpalatable. But I think that this particular election is one of the elections that I can sleep. And,
you can sleep.
And go and help other constituencies.
You can sleep.
And not Bole Bamboy constituency.
Wait. Just to reiterate, you mean in the coming parliamentary election in 2024,
yes,
you feel your contender is so weak that you can literally go to bed and still win?
I'm saying that I'll go and use my resources and my efforts in some other constituencies in order that the NDC will get more seats rather than staying in Bole Bamboy. But I have a spokesperson, I call him Omega. I think in my absence, Omega can take care of.
I like how all your nicknames start with O. Original, yes, Omega.
Yes, he's my spokesperson and he's doing very well. In my absence, I don't even want to involve my executives. I can push Omega on my younger brother Raphael, and Omega will handle him. I think.
When you say handle him, what do you mean?
I mean defeat him hands down. Okay, yes, because I don't see Raphael at all. I don't see him. I've been in this game for long. I followed His Excellency John Dramani Mahama growing up. I followed my uncle Joseph Sakakati growing up, and before I became a member of parliament. So I've gone through some apprenticeship. And so it's not as if I'm just putting words together. I'm saying that with Raphael, I can go to sleep, but in order for us to make more gains in other constituencies, I'll have to go and help them. So unfortunately for him, his government is not even winning, so that he would have lobbied for DC.
Which crystal ball did you look in? Which crystal ball did you look in to find out that his government wouldn't retain power?
Mostly those who contest me over the years will tell you that on the quiet, you know, for this seat, I'm not sure I can get it, but at least I'll be a potential candidate for the position of DCE. And so, for instance, the current DCE contested me in 2016 and then lost woefully. And so they had to reward her by giving her the DCE position. Then my good friend Dema came and contested me and also lost. He's the one that you said I beat by almost 14,000 plus votes. Then he went to contest for the DCE-ship. But I'm told that they said, oh, this one is doing well if you ask us, and we need more women in the system, so allow her to continue. Now Raphael is coming. It's unfortunate that his government will not be in government. I mean, his party will not be in government come 2025, where he would have also lobbied for DCE. But he's a young brother. I've sent a congratulatory message to him when he won their primaries. That tells you that I'm very, very comfortable with him. And I've always told my guys that I'll shave him very, very well very soon.
I'm sorry. You give him a haircut.
Very nice.
Which one? Are you going to give him a punk or?
No, I'll give him Sakura. You know, the young ones don't like Sakura. So if you want him to be very humble, than to give him Sakura. And that is what I intend to do to my.
I hope he doesn't end up giving you Sakura, because then
inshallah, that will never happen. It will never happen. It will never happen. He knows it, and everybody around him knows it. That Bole Bamboy is a no-go area for the MPP.
So in other words, you're going to teach him a political lesson. Is that what you
mean, I want him to come and learn. Okay, as we move, we should be getting young ones to follow us, and they should also learn. So I'm happy that he decided to contest. At least he will learn some lessons, and that will help him in the future. But for these elections, I tell you, Raphael himself is aware that he cannot If he's able to get the 30% that the previous one got,
right,
then I'll salute him. I don't see him even getting 30%.
In the last election, you got 67.
I got 67.89%
thereabouts.
Yes, and I intend to push it up. There was a reason why I got that figure. My first, the first time I came, I got 75 thereabouts. Okay, now the second one is reduced to 67.7 thereabouts, and there's a reason for that, and I've worked on that. Okay, I won't disclose it here.
So you're hoping for upwards of
70%? I shouldn't get less than 70% in this election.
Right. Some interesting things have happened in Parliament this year, and we can talk about some of the bills that have come to you, the imports bill, for example, among others. And then that also brings me to His Excellency the President and some of the bills that have been pushed forward to him for him to give his assent for them to become law, and the latest tussle as far as that is concerned. I have listened to some legal stalwarts talk about the fact that there's a reason Article 106.12 leaves no room for a president to veto a private member's bill certified by the Speaker of Parliament in accordance with Article 108. What is your positioning on this whole bit about private members' bills and, of course, the consequences of some of these bills, the expenditure of the executive or the state kitty on them, and the president's posturing in recent times? What would you say to that?
Yeah, so clearly the private members bill is not an illegal process. It's not an illegal thing to do. The Constitution recognized it. And it was the Right Honorable Speaker Michael Kwe who really encouraged us and asked that we should go that direction. Bearing in mind that in doing so, you must also be mindful of the cost that it will bring to bear on the coffers. And so we have started, and nobody would disagree with us that the kind of laws that we have passed using the private members bill process are not important. Now, the president was supposed to look at it and give them, or look at them and give them his assent. There's a process. If you think you wouldn't do that, you refer it to the Council of State. They look at it, and then you put your comments on it and bring it back to Parliament. Or redo it and then send it back to you. It gets to a point you don't have any option than to sign it. So what the president is doing is illegal. And like the right
what the president is doing is illegal. He has his legal counsel. He has the Attorney General and all of these people advising him. You say it's illegal?
Yeah, so that's their position. For us here in Parliament, I'm not a lawyer, but we have been well educated, and we think that he cannot do what he's doing. Put your comments why you think it shouldn't be done in this way and bring it back to us. But then you should have consulted the Council of State members. You don't do that and you write to us and you want to impose your executive powers on us. We are running a democracy that recognizes separation of powers. So the legislature is not and cannot be under the control of the presidency and the president. So he should be mindful of that. And we are saying that what he's doing is neither here nor there. And so that's where we are. So our position is clear. That what he's doing is not appropriate, is illegal, and he must change his direction.
I see. And another issue that has come into the picture in recent times has to do with SML, Strategic Management Limited, and the services supposedly they are offering to the nation. I'm sure you've read deep into that, and the latest expose by the Fourth Estate. My question to you, SML has come out with a statement trying to clarify matters, to state that it is not engaged in any shoddy business or any shoddy work, any fraudulent activity. But where do you sit? What's your position?
First of all,
especially in respect of the Finance Ministry.
Let me thank the media. You know, sometimes we just we are fast at insulting them and denigrating them and putting political colors to their activities. But without them, I can tell you, a lot of things will go under the carpet unnoticed. So the media should be commended for bringing up some of these issues. Now, the simple thing I want to say is that, have you realized that the Deputy Minister of Finance, Abena Osei, is running away from that transaction?
How is she
She's distancing away from it. If it was anything good, I don't think as a Deputy Minister you want to take yourself out of that good thing. Clearly it tells you that there's something wrong somewhere.
But we do know that when it comes to the main actions, who has spoken about it, who appended his signature, it's been Ken Ofori-Atta. So you would expect him to be more vocal on it.
Of course, yes, I'm not saying that Abena should be more vocal, but Abena as a Deputy Minister who is part of the ministry and working with the ministry and supporting the Minister of Finance should take responsibility for whatever happens there. So if you have seen her backtracking, if you have seen her trying to distance herself from it, then it tells you that something wrong is going on there. So for me, that transaction, they should stop it. Let's have a thorough look at it. We believe that it's frauded.
You want to investigate it?
Yes, it's frauded with wrongdoings, and so it should be investigated, and let's get to know what exactly is happening there.
Investigated by whom? By the OSP? We want Parliament to get on it. What do you want to see?
No, so for me, the problem with parliamentary probe has been that at the end of the day we politicize it, okay, and we don't get anything good out of it. I may have my problems with the special prosecutor, but I think that if we leave it with him, hoping that he will not be frustrated like he
already has a lot on his plate.
Of course, that is why he's supposed to do. I don't think he has a lot. Let me tell you what is happening. I was here when the Special Prosecutor's Office called me.
Oh, you see.
And what was it? That the 4 of his officers wanted to meet me. I told them I was very busy, and so I couldn't come that day. But if they were interested in coming, they could come. They came here, 4 of them. Ben, you know why? They said there's some Facebook fraud going on, and my name is associated with that person on Facebook, and so that's why they've come to investigate me. I was so shocked. So you are saying that they have a lot of work to do. If they do have a lot of work to do, why would they be following such unnecessary things? It's very simple.
You call it unnecessary.
Very unnecessary.
No, hold on. I also know that there are members of Parliament whose names have been used in fraudulent Facebook, Instagram accounts, and all of that to dupe people.
Yes,
it's an important issue.
So for me,
if they are, you should be concerned if they are using your name, your image, your reputation is at stake.
Yes, I'm concerned. I've been working on that. My problem is this: today we are all saying that we have registered our names. We have what we call Ghana card, okay, and that we have also registered our SIM cards. So if somebody has transferred money using Momo to another person, the first thing to do is to get that number, which they have. The next thing is to find out from National Identification Authority whose name or whose name that number stands, okay? And then from there, you get in touch with the mobile network. You should be able to clamp down that person as soon as possible.
So you
are in here writing reports and writing
in other words, what you're saying is that the special prosecutor
they don't have enough work
doesn't
to do.
have enough work to do,
Yes.
and that they are not focusing on the core issues,
Exactly.
the important
Exactly.
stuff.
Exactly.
He's
One
dealt with the
officer-
La Bianca issue. Yes, I do realize that there.
One officer should have dealt with this.
No one has
4 of them were
basically
here. Four of them were here, and they came here twice.
Right.
If they have work to do, would they be doing this? La Bianca, how did it end?
I get it. All these issues that have been looked at, people have been cleared, or the cases Cecilia Dapa are still ongoing. But he still has some very
What
important
can we
work
do?
on his
The
hands.
problem is that when it comes to corruption and corruption-related matters under this administration, but we have nowhere to go. You turn on your left, you don't know where to go. Your right, don't know where to go. You go forward, a special prosecutor, you go there, he tries to do what he can do. They stop him somewhere along the line. When Domevo started to probe them, what didn't they do? They sack him. So anything that has to do with corruption under this administration, you run for your life. You were here when Manansi had to take cover somewhere. So these are some of the problems. So sometimes, even when you unravel wrongdoing and you think that there's the need for you to investigate, who to investigate becomes a problem, because There's no leadership. The leadership today is so comfortable with corruption. Look, in 2015, 2016, one of the pillars on which this government campaigned was high rate of corruption. High rate of corruption, branding of what and what. At the end of the day, today, they don't want to talk about corruption. And even when you want to talk about it, people who are interested in investigating and getting to know what exactly is going on, they clown on you. So it's a sad situation.
That is a battle we have to fight together as a people. As we wind down on the conversation, before I take your Christmas message, I'd like to bring up this last issue. It happened only yesterday, the district level elections, at the very root of our democracy. The Electoral Commission was hoping for a 50% voter turnout in terms of the numbers of the voting public. That did not materialize from what we gather. But there were many problems. Some places voting couldn't happen at all. Some places didn't have the materials. Voting started pretty late with all the attendant issues. And then we're also being told of an issue, for example, somewhere where twins had an issue with their biometrics. I link that to the fact that there is the move for the Electoral Commission in 2024 to do away with the indelible ink you would usually have because they say the biometrics are foolproof. What is your take on that?
Honestly, I was in the constituency yesterday. I had to go and vote and to do some monitoring. And it was so sad, if you ask me. Now, how do we measure turnout? We measure turnout only when the people or the person is able to cast the vote. Not just because, I mean, if the people come around and they are unable to vote, you won't be able to measure the turnout. What if people come around and they are not able to vote? So it was one of the issues. My auntie, a lot of people were there, the biometric machines were not working. And some people waited for a while and left. That is one. Two, I asked Damango and other places. Materials got there very late, go to the polling stations very late. Why? Because I'm told that every constituency was given only 5 vehicles, regardless the size of your constituency, by the electoral commissioner. Again, someone also complained to me. I called a friend who's a election director in Northeast thereabout, and he told me that, my brother, even the money that we were supposed to use to carry out this activity, as I speak to you yesterday, we hadn't received a penny. So we are using our own money to be able to do this. So
EC officials?
Yes. These are some of the challenges. And if this is the way we want to go into the 2024 election, Ben, we should pray to God. Because we in the NDC will not allow this to happen. Why? Indelible ink, you say we shouldn't use it. Again, are you aware that instead of having 2 people to issue, let's say, the ballot for assembly and then ballot for unit committee, this woman is saying that 1 person to issue all the 2? What are we talking about?
You can refer to her properly. Jean Mensah, the electoral commissioner. When you say this woman, it's
no, she's a woman. Isn't her a woman?
Yes, but when you say this woman, it's
yes.
So Jean Mensah.
Right? Yes. So for me, I think that she should be very careful. She should be very, very careful. And the way she detects and carry herself through those days, this time, I don't think it will be possible. Because Ghanaians are really suffering. And it's not going to be NDC. It's going to be Ghanaians. They will not sit down and allow you to do what you did in 2020 because today the hardship is everywhere.
Do you feel not using the indelible ink as an extra layer of security, for example, do you feel it could lead to overvoting or double voting? They have said, the Electoral Commission has said that they have the biometrics in place, and in fact that they have a code or biometric QR code or something of the sort, so that once you vote, it's taken out of the system and you can't vote again. Aren't you satisfied with that?
You were just alluding to the issue of twins, right? Which created a problem. If there's no problem, why do you look for it? We've been using this indelible ink over the years. And we've been fine with it. Nobody has complained about it. Why are you taking it off? And how much is it going to cost? So for me, she's looking for trouble where there's no trouble. And I tell you, the old ladies in particular, 3, 4 of them came to me and said that we came to vote, but it seems they didn't consider our votes. I said, why? That normally they will put some...
Is it in this district level?
Yeah, just in Bole.
Yesterday.
They were asking me, now anytime they voted, since they were born and they started voting, they always indicate that you have voted. If you ask them, It's an acceptance that their votes have been cast. Okay, they've come to vote this time, and there's nothing like that. These are illiterate, excuse me to say. They approached me when I went there yesterday and said that, hey, MP, what is happening? This time, they didn't accept our votes. I said, why? So, oh, we finished, but they didn't give us the ink. If this is the way they want to do, then next time we won't come here. Are you not driving the people away?
I see. That's an interesting picture.
These are some of the problems that we are facing.
Right. And hopefully some of what you're bringing to bear that the Electoral Commission
I just hope that she will listen. I just
Right.
hope that she will listen.
All right. So we've had a lot to digest. Let's wrap the conversation with your message. Christmas is just around the corner. It's the season of giving, sharing. What's your Christmas message? And what likely will you be doing in Bole Bamboy during this Christmas?
Christmas is a very important festivity, and I have always taken part in Christmas activities over the years. And so this year, my family and myself, my children, God willing, 23rd, we are joining the good people of Bole Bamboy to celebrate Christmas. Normally, what I do is to share whatever I have with the poor and the needy in my community. So some 200-300 bags of rice, and I give to people who need it, not just party people, no. And so sometimes it creates a lot of problems for me, because sometimes your party people think that it's time for you to give it to them. I don't normally want to do that. I want to give it to those who really need it. And so sometimes I send some to the churches and tell them, you can identify those who really need this food, and I give it to them. The Catholic Church, every 31st night, I'm with them. I normally will go there for us to usher in the new year. So, what do I have to say? We just have to thank God for another year. Christmas is a period where we have to show the good attitudes of Jesus Christ. He stood for love. He stood for solidarity. He stood for peace. And he stood for hope. So these are the things that we must teach during this period. We must exemplify these things and let the young ones know that these are the things that makes us the same people, and that we should be able to bond together regardless your religious affiliation. At the end of the day, what is important is the peace of this community called Ghana. And that is what Jesus Christ stood for, peace. On the other hand, even the Muslims will tell you that the Prophet Muhammad also stood for peace. So you see that there's some converging points. So my message to my people is that I thank them sincerely for the honor done me during our past elections, that is the primaries, and that I really appreciate that, and I'll be with them to share my love, share the hope, and exhibit the good traits of Jesus Christ. I'm a Muslim, but my Quran teaches me that La nufariqu bayna ahadin min rasulihi. Do not separate, do not create confusion and divide my prophets. And the Muslims believe that Jesus Christ is a prophet. So if you're a true Muslim, you don't have to bring any confusion, anything that will separate the Christians from the Muslims, and then the Muslims from the Christians. So we are with them. And let me say this lastly to the council of the elders of the churches in my community. Every year, I always will have a small party with them. Their wives and they themselves will come 1st or 2nd January. We'll go and have a serene place to sit in my constituency, and then we celebrate together. And I cherish them so much. The ideas, the guidance, the love, the prayer that they offer me, I want to salute them and pray that the good Lord will strengthen our relationship.
Thank you very much. And this has been the first of our end of year conversations. It's a series all the way through Christmas. And guess who just joined us? In case you missed it all, you can get a recap. But Yusuf Sulemana, he's Member of Parliament for Bole Bamboy. He joined the conversation. Thank you so much for joining the conversation.
Thank you, my brother. And thank you for coming. Nigumana in Gunja, you say Ashanukusum.
Say that again.
Ashanukusum.
Ashanukusum. Okay. And what's the response?
You can also repeat same.
Okay. All right. Well, we thank you too for doing the watching and look forward to more from us as we go through this season. Thank you for watching. Welcome back on the AM show. And of course, it's a Wednesday, so courtesy of EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank, we bring you today's installment of AM Business. Today, livestock dealers in Accra are complaining about business slowing within the festive season. They say the patronage of buyers this Christmas has not been the usual as expected.
A day like this, what you usually see is you have a lot of people trooping in, getting some chicken, goats, or probably a sheep for the festive season. We've been here for almost 30 minutes. We're somewhere around the Aveno stretch, and we've been here for almost 30 minutes. You could see no one has actually been here to even ask of the price of these goats or sheep. Yeah, I have the one in charge. He's earlier been telling me what's been happening. You were telling me price sales isn't too good. Is that the case?
The price is reasonable prices, yes, but people don't have money to go and buy. The very system that is very high because of they have not paying contractors. Many people have kissing their money, they not pay them. When our customer, if you call somebody, today this year they don't have money. They will not pay us. They will not pay us. That's why people that talk money do there, money do there. We don't know where the money go. But Ghana City is Ghana here that we are chopping our money. But anybody has crying. Everybody has crying. So we don't know what is happening in Ghana.
During festive season like this, mostly we hear, oh, last year was good. This year is quite worse.
Bad year.
What makes this year bad?
That's why I told you that because of money matter, people are crying. A lot of people are crying because of money matter. You see a lot of sheep here, reasonable prices, 1,200, 1,000. The big one, 3,500, 2,500. People don't have money to buy.
Within the last 3 days, how much so far have you been able to sell?
The whole month of this year, only 2 sheep that I sell.
The year or the month?
The whole month.
That is the month of December.
In month of December, since December after that, only 2 sheep that people come and buy here.
So it means that Christmas hasn't been too
very bad Christmas. Very, very bad Christmas. Yeah.
And what way? What do you want about time?
Oh, Christmas time we are don't buy. Baby, we have some be account. I'm on top. We are about scan ho. Kunu mo di scan ho. Sa na mo foka. Monto.
No matter you di Christmas and crash still have impact.
Ba ko pe no beto. Nipa di ba kra ansa na beto ama no be go be kasa scan ho. So see aye bi school nche.
Imi hu broni bi so ba asese a na ope aboa ben na osesen.
We aboa we na ope. Ana o say me fa man 1,000. Now me bought 1,008. Aboa no so me 1,004. Ana me bought 1,800. Also, 1,000. I'm for 1,005. Now, I'm 100 kwano. I said that be 1,000. Let's go. And I'm telling you, what to the car. It is no money. Sa oba scan. I'm passing scan no hamper. Until I'm one go sano. So me talk 1,000 for me to 1,000 more 400. So when you say saying,
and say ya neti.
Say ya neti. And I'm to me.
Wow. And they say we 1,008. Na kese ayi kutamu.
Buon ma bono. Same ubabo abeto. Ntimi bo wan sai bia o mema o sei. Na aka semenya 200 kwa na 100 ana 50 Ghana bia na kamaji. 2,108 no ono ma na no so a ma 1,000. So we can hear na me fam ma. O sin sika 1,000. About so put 1,004.
The locals for no, I mean the Ghanaians no ban me hu Bronia ban the Ghanaians for ban is it the same thing?
The same thing. I'm ban so at the same thing. Obu a obeto abon kwase na wo store no to a news kan mpo na wo di amano anya bi. Wo ka na okọ.
We say no mo ye be 3,500.
We be 2,500.
We are 2,500.
We see.
We are 2,500.
2,500. And we see. We are 2,000.
Okay.
And we 1,500. We no bring so 1,000.
Oh, okay.
I feel where the market is tough because we share never no boy. And at all for no so almost so no mobile or more complaining says scan system monument. Because you see our crime say Obrona mobile better no. On the crowd say okay 1,000 now up here Ojan so see also so yet 5,000, 4,000, 3,000 and 2,000.
Welcome back on the AM show. So yes, from AM business where lots of people are complaining that their wares are not being purchased. In this case, sheep among others. We head into our very next segment. Now, just yesterday, we had our family party in the park. The Abri Botanical Gardens were bursting their seams, so to speak. They were there in their numbers. But if you missed out, you missed out big time. This is what you missed.
The energetic performance by Kwampa Band electrified the park, turning the Abri Botanical Gardens into a lively convention ground with patrons dancing in circles, many of them thanking God for helping them see December.
Family party in the park event happening here at the Abri Botanical Gardens. What you can see right now is a Kwampa Band. Yet they brought this place to life. This dancing is spontaneous. Kwampa Band, leading that. Let's speak to some of the people here. Let's speak to some of the families dancing.
Yes, I'm having fun, very fun. Yes.
You came here with your family?
Yes, I came with my family.
Nice. So what are you enjoying? Is it the Kwampa Band or you took part in the dancing?
The Kwampa Band, very much. Yes. I'm very enjoying.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm Opokwenti William, a pastor.
You're a pastor?
Yes, sir.
Tell me, what is it like for you here?
It's wonderful. Joy is doing great things here. Yeah. We love Joy FM. We love Joy Sports. Joy Entertainment. Everything is great. Yeah. We are doing well. Everything is nice.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun here at a family party in the park. Look at that. So this lady just grabbed the microphone from Gary Housemaid and she's leading the singing. Kwampa Band now has to take a back seat to watch her lead the singing. Yeah. It's a lot of thanks and praises. A lot of thanksgiving, a lot of praises here at Abri Botanical Gardens. Like I said, this was spontaneous. Kwampa started singing. Let me speak to this lady. Hi, what's your name?
Hilary,
tell me, are you having fun?
Yeah.
Okay. Who did you come with?
And my mother and my father. And my
mom? Oh, okay, this is your mom. I'll talk to your mom. But tell me, what are you enjoying?
I'm enjoying this place is fun. The place is very, very fun.
The band is fun.
Very good.
Thank you. So it's a 360 circle with our patrons going around, dancing and singing. Let me speak to Hilary's mom. Hello, mommy. What's your name?
My name is Angelina York.
Angelina York. Tell me, are you having fun?
Yeah, I'm enjoying, pa. Really enjoying.
Yeah.
I'm having fun. Okay. I'm happy.
Yeah, I'm also happy.
Oh, yeah. I'm happy. Thank you very much.
Okay.
We are grateful.
Okay, I'm sure you want to say hello.
My first time.
This is your first time?
Yeah.
And you're loving it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Musician Ifia had the crowd singing along to her big hits. And then Kwabna took the stage, prompting everyone to sing along.
so. No, that is a. Hey, let's go now, everybody, come on, let's go. Bounce it, bounce it, bounce it, bounce it, bounce it, bounce it, bounce it. Hey, oh yeah. I want to hear y'all singing. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Let's go. So we don't that's in my it's so sing along. Sing along. Come on. Come on. Okay, let's go. Let's go. 1, 2,
Just have that endorsement from these kids here who are enjoying the bouncing castle.
Children below 10 couldn't resist joining the excitement.
Okay, you're having fun on the bouncing castle?
Yes.
How long have you been here? 2 hours. And you've just been bouncing on the bouncing castle?
Yes.
How fun is it? You just love how you just jump in and go in, huh? Okay. Come. You want to talk to me? What's your name?
Adepa.
Yes. Adepa, tell me, are you also having fun on the bouncing castle?
Yes.
There was a lot to eat and drink as families brought their food to have a good picnic. Every part of the Brie Gardens was taken by our patrons. The famous Daddy's Corner had a beer stand with pork plus many others that got our daddies stuck in their corner. The patrons were from different parts of the world.
Oh, beautiful. We're having a lot of fun. The people is beautiful, very welcoming, and I'm feeling very blessed to be here.
You love it here?
I love it. I love it. Beautiful people.
How long have you been in?
We arrived 2 days ago.
Oh, 2 days ago. Is it your first time here?
First time here. Lovely, yes. So we're here with some friends, and we love the people.
People, yeah.
People
are very hospitable, right?
Oh, very
hospitable, yeah, exactly.
They make me feel like I'm at home.
Yeah. Wow. And you're loving it here at Daddy's Corner, I believe.
Oh, this is beautiful. This place, this like garden, so beautiful. The festival, the music, the people, very welcoming. I love it. God bless you. Merry Christmas.
On the mountain, in the valley, on the hallelujah, on the mountain, in the valley, hallelujah, hallelujah, the Lord is watching in the land.
You can see Santa Claus over there, and it's a long queue, and these children are going to get a gift from Santa Claus. Yeah. Their father is here. He's taking a picture of his children going to take gift from Santa Claus.
Hey, Santa, let me snap them. Hey, please, my kids, go and let me.
Okay, hello, please. Daddy wants to take a picture.
Go to Santa. And
Tell me, what does this mean to? What does it mean for
It's
them?
wonderful. It's wonderful to be here with the family, to celebrate this wonderful day for our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. It's a wonderful day. And we thank you for this wonderful gathering.
Sure.
We are grateful. We are grateful.
What's your name?
Perez.
You got a gift from Santa Claus.
Yes.
Are you happy?
Yes.
You like the gifts?
Yes.
Merry Christmas, yeah? Okay, great. Many happy returns. So you can see, it's a long queue. All of them waiting to get gifts from Santa Claus. This is just one out of the many things happening here at the Brie Botanical Gardens. We have a lot of Joy FM personalities and multimedia personalities here, personalities from the Multimedia Group Limited. The person you can see in the background is one of the hosts for the Joy Prime Morning Show, KMJ. Yes, KMJ is the masquerade here, dancing with the kids. Yeah. The man himself, KMJ. Let's see your bit.
Love it. I mean, I go here, almost every kid see me. Someone to dance, someone to run away. It brings me memories of when I was a kid. And I'll step out and all the kids will be running away. Sometimes you're also scared, you know. The masquerade is here to realize almost every year. And we're here.
Yeah. Glad to see you, bro. Our camera is unable to capture all the people here. Now, if you go to the other side of the park also, hundreds of families, are gathered over there.
I'm Edna.
Whoa, jollof. Cooking competition.
Yes, please.
Can I taste this?
Hey, really?
Yeah, really, I want to taste it.
Okay, let me finish. When I'm finished, then
Oh, but it looks ready or it's not ready? No, we want to see it. Oh my word. How long did it take you to prepare this?
1 hour.
1 hour. Okay, I'm definitely going to come back. I'm going to taste it.
Okay, we are waiting.
Okay, I'm the judge actually.
Okay, welcome.
I'm the judge.
You are the judge?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, you are welcome.
Let's speak to another contestant here taking part in the cooking competition. Hi.
Hello.
What did you prepare? Jollof?
Jollof rice, yes.
Jollof rice.
Yes.
Can
Ghana jollof.
Ghana jollof.
Yes.
Can we? I want to feel the aroma.
Okay, open it.
Oh my word. Oh. Unfortunately, you kind of feel that. You kind of sense that through our cameras. But how long did it take you to prepare this?
They gave us 1 hour, Abigail. They gave us
Yes,
1
it
hour.
was 1 hour.
Yes, 1 hour.
You prepared this?
Yes.
Okay. Are you ready to win?
Yes, we are ready to win.
You know there are a lot of prizes that you're going to take home when you win.
We will win.
You are winning?
Yes, we are winning.
Oh, okay.
We are the winning team.
The winning team?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I'll be back here. But I'm the judge, so I'll come back and come and taste the food.
You don't have any problem.
I want the entire pot. I'll need the entire pot.
Right now.
Okay, I'll come back for it.
All right.
Let me talk to the other contestants. Hello, what's your name?
Bludo Apeku.
Okay. Are you also taking part in the cooking competition?
Yes, please, yes.
Look at what's happening. Look at one of the contestants.
Yes.
Wow! How long did it take you to cook your jollof?
Oh, just 40 minutes. Plain rice with vegetable stew.
Okay, this is the Apleku Bludo family. We were here last year and we got the overall.
Oh, last year you won?
Yes.
So you are
We are the defending champions.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So we believe that this year too we are going to carry the day.
Okay. Fantastic.
Thank
Can I taste the pork? Is that pork?
We have that's chicken.
That's chicken. Can I taste it?
You can take this one. That's what we are serving. So you can
Oh, okay. I can take this one. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. I don't know. My camera technician is just looking at me. You want to chew?
He wants to chew.
Let me sign out before I chew it. So yeah. So it's a lot of excitement, happening here. It's a cooking competition, but you can see what is happening in the background. It looks like a dancing competition in the mix. A lot of happenings here. So very soon we're going to have the judges. Hey, okay. Oh, whoa. Okay. Very soon we're going to have the judges. They're going to judge. Okay. Let me talk to her.
Frema Palucham.
Frema, how old are you?
I'm 10 years old.
10 years. How long did it take you to learn this? You're doing some great leg work. How long did it take you to learn this?
1 week.
1 week. Oh, I see. You done so well.
Thank you.
Did you take part in a cooking competition? Yes. 10 years you cooking. What did you cook? What did you cook?
Jollof.
Jollof rice. Really? Wow. So you can cook jollof rice.
Yes.
At 10 years. Where's your stand? Where's your stand? You prepared it alone? Oh, with your mom. Okay. You are hoping to win. You are hoping to win, right?
Yes.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Next person. Next person. Come on. Hey. Come on. That's right. I like that.
As the sun began to set over the Bree Botanical Gardens, the echoes of laughter, music, and joy lingered in the air as families gathered their belongings and bid farewell to the Daddy's Corner, Santa Claus, and enchanting performances by Kwampa Band, Lipstick Girls, Ifya, and Kwabna. The Bree Gardens stood witness to a day filled with memories that would be cherished for years to come.
Welcome back on the AM show. Now, as we cap off the conversation on the show, we talk about holistic education. How do we get that, especially at the tertiary level? It's been said in recent years, or in fact for quite a number of years, that we produce half-baked graduates from our tertiary institutions, among others. Well, that's why we're having a conversation this morning with Professor Williams Atwilik. He is the Vice President and Provost of Heritage Christian University College and a visiting Associate Professor of Finance and Accounting in the School of Business, Lubbock Christian University, and the College of Business Administration of Abilene Christian University, all in the United States of America. Now, his profile is a rather lengthy one, but let me just go through them, just so you know the character with whom we're interacting this morning. He's a chartered accountant, a barrister at law, chartered tax consultant, chartered banker, chartered economist, and chartered economic policy analyst. He is the immediate past president of the Institute of Chartered Accountants, Ghana, and the national treasurer of the Ghana Bar Association, and serves on a number of boards and committees in Ghana, and internationally. I can say we have a chartered guest this morning on the show. Prof, thank you so much for joining the conversation, Professor.
It's my
Atwele.
pleasure. Thank you so much for having
I just referred to you as a chartered guest.
Well,
So
thank you.
You've chartered in everything, so we're chartering you as a guest as well.
We bless God for that. Thank you so much.
I'm curious, though, this is away from the conversation. How did you manage to do all of this? I had a few of my colleagues talking about it. How did you manage to amass all of this within what period of time?
Well, it comes back to being determined and being convicted of what you want to do and spending time on it. That's just what it is. Yeah.
Right. So let's talk about Heritage Christian University College. I started off by making mention of the fact that it's been said that in recent times, tertiary education is not really producing those well-rounded people that we would want, especially when you're thinking of the job market, and not just in Ghana, but globally. We have competitors in this global village from everywhere. And I've seen job advertisements, for example, where it's global, but you can work remotely from wherever you are. So the competition is wide. What do you make of that when people say, look, we're simply not producing the caliber of graduates that can meet international standards?
I agree with you that's been, personally I sit on a number of boards and I get to sit on a couple of panels for interview. And the assertion is somehow true that graduates that come out of the universities usually are not very fit for the job market.
Fit for purpose, right?
And employers will need to do a little bit of investment to get people ready. And that's what Heritage thinks should change. And so we are investing our energy to ensure that we provide holistic education that transforms the mind, the character, and the brain, and equips people with the tools that makes them very ready for the job market, so they themselves can start something and bring along others to join them.
Now, speaking of which, you talk about these holistic developments. What sort of innovation is needed to deliver? Because if it could easily be delivered, our tertiary institutions would have delivered. I mean, some institutions come to mind that are faring pretty well globally, but in our context, what do we have to do by way of innovation to produce the caliber of graduates we want?
Three things. Values-driven education, where the education not only seeks to let people gain knowledge, but also shape their value system. And at values. And at Heritage, we are very heavy on that. Every program that is taught, we want to instill good values, conviction, creativity, compassion, community, and character. So we weave this into everything that we do. When you produce graduates who have good values, then they can do things. Number two, education that emphasizes problem solving, entrepreneurship. And that is the base of everything that we do at Heritage. That we produce graduates who, right from the onset, are made to understand that you are educated to solve problems, not to come and wait for somebody to help you out. And that kind of education for quite some time is missing. Where psychologically, you go to school, you finish, then you wait, and then you be employed. And so we need an innovative educational system that tells students right from the onset that equip yourself with skills and the tools so that when you are out, you can start something. And we are very heavy on that. And then number three, multiple skills. Education that emphasizes multiple skills. So you come to school to do IT, but you go out with your IT skills, but you also get some marketing skills or some HR skills or some accounting skills and some professional program that helps you. So you go out very well rounded, not only having knowledge, but imbued with good value systems and with multiple skills that will make you fit in the job market that we have today.
I see. And I think that also goes back to your background, why you have found yourself similar to me. I'm very interested in many different things. And I guess that also explains your
This precisely
portfolio.
is what attracted me to Heritage, to be there, to do the things that, the philosophy that I believe in. I believe in multi-skilled persons who have a general worldview, but underpinned with good values, the Christian values, which is acceptable to all. You know, although we shape what we do from the Christian perspective, we are very welcoming of everybody. And that's what attracted me to Heritage. So you can study law, you can study accounting, you can study HR, you can study IT, but at the end of it all, what problems can you help solve?
And how can you let all of them interlink to find solutions, right?
So
in the end,
everybody that comes to Heritage, you've got to take some entrepreneurship courses. And throughout your stay, every semester, we have series of, workshops and seminars about business.
Oh, I see.
And then we provide hand-holding support to all our students to start, generate some business ideas using design thinking, and then pitch your ideas. So far, we have provided, close to 1 million Ghana cedis financial support to students to start their own business.
From the university itself?
So just this year, we made available 200,000 Ghana cedis to students who have ideas that are implementable. Okay? So they pitch through a competitive process, and then we do not give money alone. We make the money available, but we assign you to coaches.
So there's oversight.
There's oversight that follow through what you are doing, and then you go and launch the business, and we follow through what you are doing, and we win you off when we think that you can be on your own. So this is an innovation that many of those who don't even get to win the financial support, they get enough ideas and they have gone through the process of starting businesses, so they are able to start their own businesses, even when they don't get, and we link them to a lot of other stakeholders who are interested in what they are doing, and then they get to go. Being heavy on modern technology is one of the things that we do. Everything is underpinned by the tools of technology.
Right.
And so you can come to study nursing or theology or business. You will go out with skills in technology that will help you to survive in the modern era where technology cannot be ignored.
All right. So you've mentioned that your approach is hinged on three main things: values, innovation, and entrepreneurship.
Precisely so.
Basically, skills,
precisely
add-ons. But what then do you think? Are these enough to set you apart from other tertiary institutions? Because I know other tertiary institutions are also offering same. They are based on values. Some of them are even Christian. Then they talk about being entrepreneurial, building on skills and all that. I actually recall there was a time when there was a lot of backlash for the finance minister because in the context he said it was a bit problematic. But I think it was at the UPSC or something, and there was a seminar or a talk, and he made mention of the fact that there were no jobs and people had to be entrepreneurial, and people took him on, which I felt was right at the time. But in any case, we all have to have some entrepreneurial abilities, because there will not always be jobs sitting down waiting for you. But then what sets the Christian University College apart?
A number of things set Heritage Christian University College apart. You have the opportunity to combine whatever degree you come to study with a professional program. And we are deliberate. Elsewhere, you pursue professional programs on your own, if you want. But we have designed the curriculum in such a way that right from year one, at no further fee to you, we give you tuition towards professional programs, either in accounting or marketing or HR or IT. So
at no extra cost?
At no extra cost, except the subscription that you pay to those professional bodies and the examination that you register with them. But as far as tuition is concerned, we've integrated tuition for the professional program into our mainstream degree program. So for example, you are a nursing student. You come to study nursing. If you are interested in pursuing a Chartered Institute of Marketing program, we give you tuition. If you are interested in doing an HR program, we give you tuition. And we so arrange the timetable in a way that you are able to do that. So by the time you are done, either you are almost done with the professional program or you are close to being done. That's one. As I said, we are very deliberate with having faculty care for students. So we have a department we call Student Success and Alumni Support, department, where we intentionally, every heritage faculty knows that the students are the reason we are there. We want to cultivate education in them that makes them, impactful in society. So we've got to care. Apart from that, it's a small size university deliberately designed to be so we can interact with students adequately and help them, succeed in whatever pursuit that they are all, pursuing. And the Christian environment is very welcoming. We have a very serene campus, with modern, laboratories to support learning. We have hybrid classrooms that support both virtual and in-person learning, fitted with very comfortable, furnishing to make learning more congenial and comfortable, with the caring staff that hold students' hands, work with them, equip them properly for life so they can make an impact in our system.
Okay, so I'm tempted at this point to ask, what programs do you have on offer at the Heritage Christian University?
Thank you very, very much. So broadly, we do nursing, so we have a degree in nursing. Okay. And then we do business, and we have a number of degrees in business, accounting with computing, marketing, human resource management, entrepreneurship and technology, supply chain. We have a degree in
supply chain management,
supply chain, logistics and supply chain management. Okay. And then we have a degree in IT, information technology, information security, and we have a degree in theology. At the graduate level, we have 3 degrees, and we are building on to add a few more. We have a degree in accounting and taxation, accounting and finance, and human resource management. And as I said, both at the undergraduate and the graduate level, you get to combine these with some professional certification of your own choice. Okay. And we provide the tuition. So we've assembled high caliber, very experienced scholar practitioners. They are scholars, all of them credentialed, and they are practitioners, leading scholars in their respective fields to hold the hands of our students, work with them to get them, and then we equip you with entrepreneurial support, financially and, logistically, to get you, moving. So if you really want an educational environment that equips you for life, that makes you holistic in outlook, I think what we have on offer is quite irresistible. Yeah.
Now, for those who are watching us who may be contemplating coming on board, what can such persons expect as far as the opportunities in your educational institution are concerned? What can they expect, and what do you have on offer? You've said a lot already, but what can you say to them, those watching us? I
would say to them, admission is ongoing for all the degree offerings that I have mentioned.
Okay, so both undergraduate
and graduate level. Okay. And school will open on the 8th of January. So go to our website, hcuc.edu.gh, and the application forms are out there.
So let's do that again slowly. www.hcuc.edu.gh.
Correct. And then the telephone numbers that you can get include 055 102 6164 or 020 229 8399 or 054 777731. The sevens are 5.
Okay, so I'll want you to repeat all of the numbers, but slowly.
Thank you.
First number, second number, third number.
First number 055 1026 164. Second number 020 229 8399. And the last number 054 777731. So you can go onto any of you can reach us on any of these, and we are at Amasaman behind the Olympic stadium.
Okay. All right, so that's where you can locate them. You have the website now. You know where to go, www.hcuc.edu.gh. Just they can get the prospectus or any other details from there.
On the website.
And you could pursue it from there, ask questions, call those numbers, make inquiries, and who knows where that could leave you. What I like about what you've spoken about is the entrepreneurial end to it. So no matter what you're doing, you are doing something skills-based. Apart from what you may be learning, you could be learning nursing and even dabbling in a bit of HR or marketing or whatever else in there. And I would say this, part of why I'm able to do what I do and other things I do is because I don't put myself in a straitjacket. I do so many things, and that's where our world is headed.
It is very important. In this modern world, if you really want to survive, you need to be multitask, and multitasking is what we provide. We give opportunity for people beyond this. People who want to, we have other centers that provide other skills, hands, on skills, on soap making, on piggery, poultry, farming, short programs like that. We do, all kinds of training just to equip people for life.
Right.
So it's a good place to be if you really want day-to-day solutions for the Ghanaian environment.
I'll cap off the conversation by giving you free consultancy.
Thank you very much.
What I do want you to add as a polyglot is languages. Find somewhere to add that, and then you would have probably killed all birds with one stone.
We are actually working on that as we speak. So next year, hopefully, we have set up a department of language arts and media studies to do a number of languages. And so you are a prophet.
Well, thank you very much, Prof, for joining the conversation, and we wish you
it's
the
a pleasure
very
to be with
best.
you. Thank you so much.
This has been an interaction with Professor Williams Atwile. He is the Vice President and Provost of Heritage Christian University College, and they are throwing their hands out to you. Join them and enjoy top-notch tertiary education. And I think it's only fitting as well to say Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to you, Prof.
Thank you. Many happy returns.
All right. And that's how we cap off the conversation this morning. It's been a lot of fun. We still have more coming your way tomorrow. So join us from the start of the hour, from the top of the hour at 6. But up next, we have Joy News Desk. Have a good day.